thought I'd do a kind of sit down video talking about my scoliosis journey. It starts off when I was about 13. So me and my mum went to the doctor. He told me I was fat, and it was because I was fat, needed to lose weight, and I needed to correct my posture. He didn't even send me for an x-ray. He didn't do anything, which he should have done, which as a teenage girl that fucked me up. I wish in hindsight I got my mum to push more, because my mum wanted to, but I just was like, I can't, like, I don't want to be told I'm fat. I started working in a nursery in September of 23. I worked in the baby room, and I was like, I'm in so much pain all the time. So I went to the doctors. I was born with congenital hip dysplasia. So I had like the corrective thing as a baby. I spent like quite a lot of time as a baby with my legs in plaster, and I was quite late in terms of development and stuff like that. So my doctors were like, we don't know what's going on. I had an x-ray, they couldn't really see anything, so they referred me to a private specialist who specialised in hips. I had an MRI with them, and they found out I had bursitis, but also in the MRI it picked up I had scoliosis. And I was like, I looked at, because my dad comes with me to all of those appointments, that's been like our thing. So I was like, what the fuck is that? And he kind of showed me, and he was like, the only way you can kind of get things done with that, because he was only a hip specialist, was basically to go back to square one, go to my doctor. So then I went back to my GP, and that was end of 2024. I went to my GP because I put it off for so long. So I went to the doctors. They immediately referred me very quickly for a x-ray, because she literally got me to like lean over, and she was like, yeah, you've got scoliosis. And I was like, fantastic. So the first x-ray I had, I think my degrees were like 58 and like 53, I think. It was like 53 on the top, 58 on the bottom. Once I had the x-ray, they referred me to Stanmore. So I got referred to Stanmore. Had my first ever appointment with Mr. Shafafi, and yeah, so in that appointment he basically was like, what we're going to do is we're going to put you on a course of physio and see if that helps. He basically gave me some like exercises for me to do in the gym that would like help strengthen and kind of alleviate some of the discomfort I had. So I did a lot of like yoga, Pilates, re-x-ray. My curve was getting worse. My last physio appointment I'd say probably in December time, and he basically said to me he would recommend I had the surgery, because looking at my x-ray that I had to have before the physio, the curve had got a lot worse and was impacting one of my lungs and was impacting everything to do with that. So I was like, shit, okay. 2 or 3 weeks after I had the ballet show, I had the phone call at a ballet lesson. I literally said to my ballet teacher, I'm waiting for a phone call from Stanmore and I don't know what it's for. She was like, it's fine, just sit outside, like, don't worry. And I had the phone call, and it was literally Mr. Shafafi's assistant basically being like, we're going to put you on the waiting list for surgery, if that's okay with you, because of how progressed it's getting. And it's just, at that point my curve was like 65 and 69, so it got nearly over 10 degrees worse, which is mad. So yeah, they were just like, we need, like, if you want to and it's okay, they would like to go with the surgery. And I was like, you know what, like, if it's going to help me in the long run, then sure. Fast forward to like middle of March, so my back pain was horrendous at that time, so I got signed off work and got engaged in that time as well, which very exciting. Yeah, it was literally, we went out with my in-laws for like a celebratory engagement lunch, like the week, it was like the Wednesday after we got engaged, and literally on the drive to the restaurant I got a phone call, and they were like, we have a date for the surgery. And I was like, oh shit, okay. So the date comes along and I have the surgery. It was 12 hours long. I managed to, on the first night of WrestleMania, watch WrestleMania live, which was, I've never been able to do that because it's always on so late, but because I was in so much pain and the lights were on, and it was just, the first couple of nights after the op was shit. The discharge from hospital was a shit show, because they didn't communicate properly. Basically I was sent for an I got told to be going for an x-ray. My nurse for the day was on break, so I didn't get sent for the x-ray. And I sat there for about 2 hours being like, when am I going for this x-ray? And so my mum and dad were there with me the whole day that day, and my mum basically went to the desk and was like, what's going on? Because we're waiting for this x-ray, and they were like, oh, have you not gone? I went for the x-ray, my dad came with me, x-ray was phenomenal, like it was straight as fuck. I mean, you've seen, if anyone actually like gives a toss and watches these, you've seen in the last video where I showed my x-rays how good my new x-ray looks. So yeah, and I had the x-ray, and then they were like, oh yeah, we'll get you ready for discharge now. I waited for 4.5 hours to be discharged, and obviously I'm a panicky gal. I'm a panicky gal, so I'm in like, it got to about 7ish, and they were doing like the handover for the night staff, and I was literally crying to my mum and dad, being like, I don't want you to leave, and I don't want to be here another night because I've been told I'm going home. My mum went mental. She was like, what the fuck is going on? She basically, she took me to the desk with me crying, saying I want to go home, and that actually got the top dog on the ward to kind of help. So these videos are extremely long, so I've had to cut them down into 2 parts. This part is my build up to the surgery, the time in hospital-ish, and then the discharge. The next part is basically my first few weeks up to now. So if you want to watch that, the next part will be coming soon.